In this video, I'm going to talk about the nested for loop. A nested for loop is basically a for loop inside the other for loop. We can create a table or multi-dimensional array by nested for loop. So for example, we can create tables like that. This is a multiplication table. 1 multiply 1 equal to 1. 1 multiply 2 equal to 2. And here 2 multiply 1, 2. 2 multiply 2 is equal to 4. This is the 3 multiplication table. And we can create these tables by nested for loop. It's until 12. 12 multiply 1 equal to 12. This is until 12 multiply 12. So let's create this multiplication table. So here I'm going to write for int I equal to 1 as long as I is less than or equal to 12 I plus plus. We will increment the I. And here I'm going to write again for int j. I'm going to make the I j, int j equal to 1 as long as the j is less than or equal to 12 j plus plus. We will increment the j. And inside this second for loop, we will write a printf %d multiply %d equals to %d \n. And here we're gonna write I j I multiply j. So the thing that we did here is that I, our first initial variable, and j, our second initial variable, we print them. We write I here. This is I multiply to j equal. We write here equal. I multiply j equal to this number. And here we write ij. And here we write that's I. And here we wrote I multiply j. This is the multiplication of I and j. I is that, this is j, and this is multiplication of I and j. And outside this second for loop, inside the first for loop, here we're gonna write another printf, and we wrote just \n in order to make a space between these multiplication tables. So if I print that gcc -o, the name of file .c / name of file, hit the enter. As you can see, this is our table. 12 multiply 1 equal to 12, 12 multiply 2 equal to 24. This is exactly the same with this table. 12 multiplied 2 equal to 24, 12 multiplied by 3 equal to 36, 12 multiplied by 3 equal to 36. This is exactly the same with this table. And this is the multiplication of 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and so on. So let's check in more detail how we did this multiplication table. So here we said that I equal to 1 as long as I is less than or equal to 12. We will create this for loop and we will increment the I. Here, first of all, I is 1. It's obviously less than 12. We run this for loop. Inside this for loop, we have the j. J is 1. We said until the j is less than or equal to 12, run this printf function. We said that print I and print j. Here, I was 1. J is 1 also. And print multiplication of I and j here. First time, it print that, and we increment the j. J again became 2. 2 was less than 12. We print this again. I is 1 here. J is 2. And we print the multiplication of I and j. And again, we increment the j. J became 3. And we repeat this cycle until the j became 12. Here, I is 1. J is 12. And we print the multiplication of I and j. With this cycle, we create our first table. We created this first table, the multiplication of 1. After this printf function, we incremented the j by 1. J was 12. If we increment it by 1, it becomes 13. And 13 is greater than 12. This for loop, this condition became false. When this for loop ends, we print this printf function. And again, we come back on the first for loop. Here, our first for loop, I was 1. Here, we increment the I. After finishing these functions, we increment the I. Here I became 2, and 2 is less than 12. And also we run this block of code again. We run this for loop. Inside this for loop, j is 1 again. We check if j is less than or equal to 12 or not. J is 1, it's obviously less than 12. And we run this printf function again. And here we increment the j again. And we do this repetition until the j became again 12. And this condition became false. We run this printf, make a new line inside this table, and with these cycles, we create our second table, the 2 multiplication. Again, we increment the I became 3, and these cycles will repeat again until the I became 12. We will increment the I by 1, I became 13. 13 is not equal to 12. This condition becomes false, and this for loop terminate. So this is the logic inside this nested for loop, and it will become more clear with practicing. See you next video, and bye for now.